I believe this is very, very important, which is the naming of your product, okay? Now, obviously you're like, for example purposes, wholesaling, right? You're not going to say, oh, Frank's wholesaling program or Frank's one-of-a-kind wholesaling program. You have to identify what your hook is. This is really sit down and start brainstorming and start, writing down what is my product and what isn't my product. And what you're going to figure out, you're going to whittle this down into, a few taglines. It doesn't really need to be a long-winded name. And just to give you guys an example, someone in our space, they have a product called the real estate trifecta, right? Trifecta is the three components, which is the education, the software, and then they offer funding. So it's pretty much the three components that you need to do a deal from start to finish. Another person did an offer like buyers on fire, but really what the program is, how do you create a buying frenzy around the product, around the real estate that you post up for sale? Is it's all in your program, your product, your education already. You just got to sit down and really kind of brainstorm and, of course, crowdsource the idea. Run it by your team, run it through your networks, your masterminds, people in the business that are with you, and just see like, hey, does this name make sense or does it confuse you? And just start playing around with it, but just don't go with the very first idea that comes to mind. And then the secondary thing is following that specific tagline or headline with a 1 to 2 sentence description of what it's going to do, right? It's going to give you back 10 hours a day. It's going to add an extra 1 to 2 deals per month to your business. It's going to eliminate the headaches that typical investors deal with. So it's just really benefit driven as your description or tagline to your headline, okay? So the naming of your product is really important for your education because pretty much everything is going to be derived from that, right? Your marketing, your landing pages, your webinar, your presentation, like everything's going to come from that. So definitely spend a lot more time on naming your product, and that'll really help you in designing your education.